All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to your light. Back again with another article. Okay, all part of prophecy, man. Okay, so it says Venezuela drops U.S. dollar, will use euro for international transactions. Venezuela is abandoning, and Venezuela is only one of many. Okay. It says Venezuela is abandoning the U.S. dollar with all future transactions on the Venezuelan exchange market to be made in euro. Tarek El Aissami, the country's vice president for economy, announced the sanctions recently introduced by Washington against Caracas block the possibility of continuing to trade using the U.S. dollar on the Venezuelan exchange market. El Aissami said, if I'm pronouncing that right, adding that the American restrictions were illegal and against international law. All right, and it's basically like the U.S. is forcing these countries to ditch the dollar. Russia, they definitely not playing any games. All right, Russia is in cahoots with China. Okay, Iran joining in there. All right, and soon to follow, U.S.'s so-called allies are gonna do the same. All right, but little do they notice that it's all according to prophecy, because guess what? If the U.S. economy collapses, that's gonna cause it's gonna create a big dent in the global economy. All right, because America is the primary place of making money, and that's why the scriptures say when America is destroyed. All right, let me see if I could find that real quick. Merchant, I believe it's in Revelation, or what was it? Yeah, Revelation 18 verse 9. All right, it says, and the kings of the earth. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. All right, and that she is talking about America is metaphorically, because America, all right, is referred to as the daughter of Babylon, okay, or mystery Babylon, and is portrayed as a she. Okay, the harlot, the whore that sitteth upon many waters. That's referring unto what today is called America. So the she that is talking about is America. Okay, and it says what? Utterly burned with fire. What fire? The nuclear fire, along with the fire from the Lord's chariots, the so-called UFOs. All right, because like you see in movies, whenever aliens invade, where do they go? Primarily America, because it's biblical. Okay, so she's going to be burnt with fire, and America is going to be completely destroyed, desolate. All right, from New York to California, the whole United States is going to be destroyed. All right, it says, for the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her. All right, and the kings of the earth are talking about the leaders, all right, of these other nations, because they make what? They make deals and trades and so on and so forth with America. Why? Because America is the primary place to make money. All right, the biggest consumers are here in America. It says, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Okay, saying, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right, and that also proves to you that this Babylon is referring onto America, because it was an ancient Babylon. All right, the way that this modern day Babylon is supposed to go out, that's not how ancient Babylon went out, and it didn't take only 1 hour. All right, so going on here, it says the American financial blockade of Venezuela affects both the country's public and private sectors, including pharmacy and agriculture, and shows just how far the imperialism can go in its madness, the vice president said. Okay, so the U.S. is making enemies out of all these different countries. All right, and this is leading. Hey, man, it's gonna lead to that economic collapse, and it's gonna be global too, because these other nations are all gonna be affected, and that's when the chip is gonna be presented. Okay, because they're gonna need an alternative, a solution. Now that America's done, now that the dollar is worthless, what can they replace? What can be the world currency that all these other countries can have in common, to be able to trade with each other with? Okay, and that's gonna be that chip, that RFID microchip, which according to the scriptures is the mark of the beast. All right, that hour of temptation that shall try the world. Yeah, that's gonna be that chip. Okay, and if the Lord is not with you, you're gonna give in to that temptation. All right, so it says Venezuela's floating exchange rate system, DCOM, will be operating in euro, yuan, or any other convertible currency, and will allow the foreign exchange market to use any other convertible currency. El Aisami said. Okay, now the yuan, all right, because the yuan is picking up quick. All right, it's picking up quick, man. It says the vice president added that all private banks in Venezuela are obliged to participate in the DCOM bidding system. The government is going to sell 2 billion euros between November and December to allow the public to purchase the European currency at a real non-speculative rate, he said. And this is going to affect the US. All right, whether they want to believe it or not, it's going to affect the US, man, because of the pride. All right, yeah, like the scriptures say, because of the pride, the city shall be troubled. Okay, because his economy is going to collapse, man. It's and I believe it was an economist who said this, is that the US is like a Titanic headed full speed for an iceberg. All right, it says Washington isn't hiding its desires to see Venezuela's socialist president Nicolas Maduro, whom it's accusing of a crackdown on the country's opposition, removed from power. Trump administration even spoke of the possibility of the so-called humanitarian intervention into the country, which that's what the U.S. do, man. They always do that. It says last year, the U.S. imposed sanctions prohibiting trading new debt and equity issued by the Venezuelan government and state oil company PDVSA. The Department of Treasury also introduced several rounds of restrictions against Venezuelan top government officials. Maduro was amongst those blacklisted and called it an honor. Okay, because hey, man, that's what it is, man. The U.S. is making enemies and becoming hated. All right, and man, the U.S. is gonna find themselves back in a corner. All right, and at that point, it's gonna be too late. But it's all in works of the Heavenly Father's plan. The Most High, he works on the minds of men. He's the one putting it in Trump's mind to do what he's doing, putting it in Russia's, Putin's mind, or the Russians' minds to dump the dollar, and all of that. The U.S. pressure has contributed to the severe social and economic crisis in Venezuela in recent years, as it was hit by hyperinflation, and that's going to happen here. The devaluation of the national currency and a shortage of basic necessities. And they're struggling there in Venezuela, man. All right, I heard they're eating rotten meat now, and it's just like they had all our hell is breaking loose over there. And that's Venezuela. So how much worse do you think it's going to be here in America, where people are brats? They're like spoiled brats. They've experienced no hardships, and everything is handed to them on a quote unquote silver platter. You come home every day to electricity. Water, food, grocery stores are right there. You have delivery, you have Lyft and all this, Uber Eats and everything. Everything is just comfortable. All right, but the Lord is gonna take that away, man, and you're gonna see all hell here in America, man. It says the harsh situation forced more than 2.3 million to people leave the country this summer in search of better life in Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Brazil, according to the UN. But the thing is, and when that hits the U.S., you're not going to be able to leave. It's going to be for your destruction. It's not for you to escape, man. Okay? So for those of you who are still being wicked out there, man, all these videos we do on these articles, and these are all warning signs. All right? Because we know where it's headed. We know the outcome, and we're seeing the causes. And we're giving you the warning, but a lot of you are not going to take heed till death is staring you in the face. But it's going to be too late then. Okay, so that's it, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.